If you need any grinding done in NBA 2K26 MyTEAM, make sure you hit up Rose NBA. Link is in the description. Great service, fast, reliable, cheap. Hit them up. They won't let you down. Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the best, well, actually every hidden gem pink diamond in NBA 2K26 MyTEAM here on this tier list. This is part one of two, because there is so many of these pink diamond hidden gems. There are 134 of them in total as I record this video. Now, to be fair, 2 of those will be dropping in Friday packs, which by the time y'all see this video will already have been announced. But there are 67 on this list, and then there are another 67 on a second tier list, because you can only put a maximum of 100 cards on a tier list for tier maker. So I did 2 67 card tier lists. 6-7. I'm sorry, that was very... Anyways, let's focus on this tier list, and I am excited to get into this one. I'll have part 2 dropping with the rest of the pink diamond hidden gems on Saturday. Part 1 dropping today. We'll start with Jerry Sloan, who's legitimately pretty good. He's 6'5", but he's great defensively, and he's got a really good fade. He's not the best slasher in the world, but he's competent enough. He's only 6'5", but he's a legitimately good card. I think he's very solid. Jason Tatum doesn't have great sigs, but he's got great stats and badges and an awesome jumper. I think overall he's a very solid shooter, or a very solid small forward. I don't think he's S tier, but I think A is probably fair. LaMelo Ball is also not an S tier one to me, even though he's a 6'7" point guard and his stats and badges are pretty good. The stats and badges aren't insane either, and I will say the other thing about LaMelo is his animations, besides his, I just don't think they're that great. He never really moves that good in my team and stuff, especially early in the year, but the 6'7" point guard size is enough for where he's definitely A. I just don't think he's S. Siakam is legitimately good. He's not that much crazier than his diamond from Domination, to be fair, but he's got a good jumper. He's good defensively. He doesn't really do much in terms of shot creation at all, but he's just really well complete. He doesn't have great size at power forward, only 6'8". I think B is probably fair, but he's not a bad card. I just don't think he's great. Luka is a 6'7" point guard. Problem is he's not actually good defensively. He's not really that great of a shooter. His jumper's not that great. His sigs are kind of mid. I don't think Luka's all that good, to be totally honest. I think he's pretty bad. He's my favorite player in real life, but I don't think that card's good. Peja Stojakovic, low-key almost S tier. Like, I think he has a legitimate argument for S tier. We'll see if I wind up moving him up to there, but he's legitimately really good. 6'10" small forward with an absolutely incredible jumper. Defensively, he's not incompetent. He's not amazing, but he's not horrid. I actually think he's really good. His jumper is amazing. I'm a big fan. Sam Cassell, not D tier, but not higher than C either. Good jumper, but undersized PG, who's not an incredible slasher, not an elite card, I wouldn't say. George McGinnis is another 6'8" power forward, similar to Siakam in that he's got nice, well-rounded stats and badges, but he's not an insane card. I think he's good, not great. That's how I would describe him. By the way, I am going to move Jerry Sloan up to A because of that Pro 2 fade. I think that's fair. KP's S, he's like an 80 speed, 7'2", 7'3" center with a legitimately very good jump shot. This card is probably going to be the second best big in the game after Victor Wembanyama whenever he does drop, assuming Wemby's already dropped by that point. If not, he'll probably be the best big in the game until Wemby drops. The card is, he's the best hidden gem big man on this list besides Wemby. Wemby's not on this tier list though, so Wemby will be on the next one. But yeah, I think he's the second best hidden gem big in the game. Damian Lillard just doesn't provide any sort of defense at all. Offensively, he's actually kind of a blast to use, and for that reason, I'm going to give him C instead of D because his sigs are actually decent. He's a legitimately good slasher. His jumper's awesome. He just doesn't guard a parked car. So for me, I think that's D, C tier. Artis Gilmore, despite being 7'2", is like 60 speed with no 3-ball. I'm good. I just don't want a slow non-shooting center on the court really ever. That's not something I'm excited about. D tier. Steve Smith is fine, not great. Good stats and bad as a 6'8" shooting guard, but his jumper could be a little bit better. That being said, he's still a pretty good card. I think B tier is totally fair. Wesley Matthews, good 3 and D. Isn't going to be insane stat and badge wise by any means, but his jumper's going to be nice. He's going to guard us pretty well. He's like a worse Jerry Sloan, I feel like. Not a bad card. Going to be a good shooter as well. Dan Marley's jumper's really good this year, and he's got good stats and badges as well as a 3 and D option. I think he's a very solid pink diamond. I don't mind him in A tier. Cliff Hagan, really good jumper and actually decent stats and badges, but he's a 6'4" shooting guard who doesn't have any sort of sigs either. I think that's a C tier card to me. And then Stephon Marbury is like basically Derrick Rose, who is not that good. I don't think he's that good either. I feel like C tier is probably a fair spot for him. And again, I think I might be being kind of generous not putting a couple of these guys in D tier so far. MJ's jumper is always mid. His stats and badges are awesome, but he's not an incredible shooter, and his jumper is not going to be that great. The defense is going to be elite, the slashing is going to be elite, the movement's going to be solid, but the shooting isn't going to be great, and for that reason, I wouldn't go any higher than B tier with him. Connie Hawkins. This may seem like a surprising choice to put Connie Hawkins in the S tier, just because I don't think Connie Hawkins is the type of name that people generally think of when they think S tier card, but this card is an absolute beast, and I'm going to show y'all what I mean in this video. He is good at literally everything. He's a great slasher, he's a great shooter. He's very solidly versatile defensively. He's just a really good all-around card. I'm already regretting pulling this card up on 2KDB though, because it doesn't want to load. But he is a very, very nice option at the small forward position. Also like 6'9" as well, which is another huge plus. Guys, I hate that my computer does not work efficiently when I am recording videos sometimes. Like, it just don't want to work. So I guess we're not going to look at Connie Hawkins because, oh, now he finally wants to pop up. Here we go. 95 driving dunk, 92 speed, 86 three ball. Defensively, though, really well rounded. Y'all see how he does literally everything good. He's a 6'8" small forward, but he's got a good jumper too. He's really good. I think he's S. Rip Hamilton, Pro 2 fade, solid stats and badges, good jump shot. I don't think he's as good as Jerry Sloan though. He's not as good defensively. He's an inch taller, but the Pro 2's nice. Is it good enough to go A though? I don't know. I don't think his stats and badges quite live up to the billing. I think Danny Granger's probably very close to S tier. He's got a really good jumper. He's got good stats and badges as well. I think I'm gonna go high A with him, pretty similar to Peja, honestly. He's maybe a little better statistically than Peja is, but I think A is fair. I don't know if I'd go S, but he's not far off of it. Jerry Stackhouse is gonna be a little underwhelming defensively, but offensively gonna have really good stats and badges. Jumpers, eh. He's not horrible defensively. His jumper's pretty good. His offensive stats are going to be really good with the shooting and slashing and stuff. I don't love his jumper though. I'm going to go C. I don't think he's that good. John Starks, 6'5" point guard with a good jumper. I think he's A tier. I don't think his SIGs are great, but he's competent and he's got good stats and badges all the way around. He's a legitimately good card. I think he's an A tier. Bailey Howell, another guy who I just don't think is great. 6'7" small forward, jumper's okay, but it's not insane. Stats and badges are also good, not ridiculous. He doesn't do a lot off the dribble. I think he's just kind of a guy. Jim Jackson is another like fine but not great card, I would say. He's one of those cards again where I feel like he's kind of there. If you were to get Jim Jackson out of your Pink Diamond Hidden Gem, you're definitely not going to be like jumping for joy, but he is a good card. He's a solid slasher. He's a solid shooter. I think he's pretty decent defensively as well. Like overall, he will hold his own, and I think he's a very, very solid option, even if he's not a truly elite option at the shooting guard position. Who is next? Come on, 2K, or come on, tier maker, please. Every single time I click off the page, it wants to take 10 seconds to go back to the page. I don't know why. Jeff Petrie, his jumper's not very good. He's 6'4". I got to be stricter on this list, don't I? I'm looking at this list. I need to be stricter. Dame doesn't play D, but I kind of like his jumper better than Marbury. Marbury plays... You know what? I'm sorry. I have to. I got to move him down. We got to be a little stricter on this list. I'm just looking at it. It's too top heavy right now. Jeff Mullins is actually pretty good. Good jump shot, 6'4" point guard. He's an okay slasher. He's a solid card. I feel like he and Starks are pretty similar. I actually kind of want to put him A. I think he's pretty good. Jeff Mullins, not a bad option. I'm going to go B for him, though. I think that's fair. Oh, of course, now Jim Jackson loaded. My bad. Anyways, Jim Jackson, as y'all could see, 6'6" shooting guard, good stats and badges. Y'all could see what I was talking about with this card. A good card, but not one that you'd ever be like, oh, I want him specifically. Which is why I have him in just like solid mid B tier. Drew Holiday, I low-key want to put S because of how good he is defensively, but the slashing isn't quite there. I'm gonna go high A. I'm being very strict with my S tiers. There's not gonna be that many S tier cards on this list. I think it's reasonable to put him A tier though. He's a very good card. Jameer Nelson, 6 foot, doesn't dunk, doesn't defend. He's not good. Ricky Drain, same thing. This card is also terrible. Would not recommend him either. I really want to put Dame in C. I'm gonna try to put Dame in C. Adrian Dantley, 6'4" shooting guard who's mostly a post-up card, doesn't have a great jumper, isn't amazing defensively. I don't think he's that great. Sleepy Floyd's like 6'4", but he's the most average 6'4" point guard ever. Like, I would not put him higher than C tier at all. Chuck Robinson, I believe, can't really shoot. I think he is a pretty great finisher, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't believe that he can really shoot the ball, and I think that's kind of a killer with him. Yeah, 69 three ball, 90 speed, 95 dunk. That is an interesting card, but with the low three ball rating, I really can't go higher than C tier because he's just not going to be a very confident shooter. I think Rudy Gay is S tier, 6'8" small forward with a great jumper and great movement. He has much better SIGs than his diamond, which I think is dumb. I'd like his diamond to have the same SIGs as Pink Diamond, but either way, the Pink Diamond Rudy Gay is an extremely elite card and it's going to be one of the best small forwards in the game for a while. Tim Hardaway Sr., Very good jump shot. Doesn't do much else, though. He's only 6 foot at point guard. I don't think he's very good. I think he's D tier. Kareem, despite being more of an inside, does have a high enough 3-ball rating at a 62 where it can be hit wide open, and he is dominant on the interior. Now, I will say, I'm actually going to go A instead of S because his jumper, this year specifically, with the way the shooting is, low 3-balls are tougher to hit than I've been the last couple of years. I think he is tougher to shoot with this year than the last couple of years. He's still definitely makeable. And if you are confident with his shot, I think you could absolutely argue S, especially with how dominant he is physically and defensively and all that type of stuff. But I'm going to go A because I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to shoot with him, to be totally honest. Amari is 6'10", great slasher, great finisher, solid card, but doesn't ever quite have quite complete enough stats and badges, nor quite an elite jumper, quite an elite enough jumper anyway, to be truly insane. I think high B is probably reasonable for him. Devin Booker is going to go S tier, as is Magic Johnson. Two very different point guards. D-Book being one of the best scorers in the game, Magic with his switchability, size, and defense. Both of them provide a lot of value on the court, though, and I think both of them do deserve to be in the S tier overall. Tracy McGrady, I assume, is basically the exact same as the Pink Diamond Dunktober card. I don't know if this card should even really count on this list, considering that he already does have a Pink Diamond, but I guess he has two, because he has the Dunktober card and he has this Pink Diamond Hidden Gem. I don't know why that's how that 2K decided to do it this year, but apparently it's how they decided to do it. And I think the stats on the Hidden Gem are just slightly worse than the Wild Gem one. So he's basically just a slightly worse version of that Wild Gem card. Now, to be fair, that card is very good, but I think you probably go A tier for T-Mac, not S. I don't think he's that insane, to be totally honest. Animations are fine, but not unbelievable. Jumper's good, but not ridiculous. Defensively, he's very solid. I like the card, but I wouldn't go higher than A tier, I don't think. Bob Love, good defender, solid jumper, low B. Not great. He's a, what, 6'8" small forward, 6'9" small forward. He's not bad. I don't think he's insane, though. I think B is fair. Jamal Mashburn has a good jumper as well. He's another guy who's just going to be a well-rounded, solid small forward. Another just solid B tier. Not a great card, not a bad card. JoJo White is like 6'4", but doesn't have great slashing. Doesn't really do anything particularly great. I don't think he's awesome. Jamal Murray is kind of a bucket getter, to be fair. Jumper's really good, but his SIGs are mid. He's not awesome defensively. He's a good slasher. He's got like a 90 driving dunk, which is nice. I think he's solid. I'll go B. I just don't think I'd go higher than that. Larry Hughes, really good defensive point guard, 6'5", good slasher. Very similar to Drew Holiday. I'll go another high A tier with him. I think him and Drew Holiday are very similar cards. Both of them are very, very good point guard options. Steve Francis has a terrible jumper. That's an easy D tier to me. Don Buse is actually a good defensive point guard, but he doesn't have a great jumper and he's not an elite slasher. He's got decent size, but I think he's C tier overall. I'm not a big fan of that card. Hito Turkoglu never has good enough stats and badges on his Pink Diamond cards to really be great, in my opinion, because he just leaves a little bit to be desired offensively or defensively, and then offensively, besides when he used to have an insanely OP jumper, which he just doesn't have anymore, it's just not quite good enough animation-wise to really be higher than C tier, I don't think. Same thing with Rashard Lewis. Bad jumper. For me, he's definitely C tier. Hito's like a close, like borderline. He's maybe the best card in C tier type thing, whereas Rashard Lewis is like a mid C tier, just super mid. Jumper's not good enough. He's not a very good card. Chris Kaman, actually decent. Can shoot, can defend, not horribly slow. He's not the best, but he's not the worst either. He's pretty decent. He's like a mid B tier guy. I think he's actually pretty solid. Karl Anthony Towns, really good shooting stats and badges. Jumper is decent. He's not amazing defensively though, and he's not extremely physically capable or anything. He's got like 80 speed. He's okay. I don't know if he's amazing. I think like high B or low A is probably fair for Cat. Michael Redd, I just cannot stand his jumper, honestly. I want to put him D tier, but I don't think he's as bad as the D tiers. That being said, I don't think he's very good either. Kyle Korver, amazing shooter, but defensively does leave a little bit to be desired. That being said, this Pink Diamond's definitely a lot better than his Diamond in terms of overall statistical completeness, being more versatile defensively and a little bit quicker as well, and his jumper is unbelievable. He is A tier, I think. Reggie Thea, 6'7" point guard, but one of the worst 6'7" point guards. He's, or 6'6", whatever. He's got a mid jumper and mid movement and like isn't insanely good at really anything, but he does have good size, and I think he's decent. Better than Luka, though. I'll give him B. Sam Jones, A tier, really fun scorer with a really good jump shot. I don't think he can go higher than A tier because he has basic dribble style. He's only like 6'5", but he has a very good escape. He's got a couple other good saves, good drag back as well. Really great jumper and a solid defender, good slasher as well. He's very, very nice. I think he's an easy A tier. LeBron, despite having a bad fade, LeBron is still S. The stats and badges are awesome. Besides the fade, the rest of his animations are actually pretty good this year. I think he dribbles better this year than he did last. But I will say the fade could certainly be a lot better. That does hurt him, especially on a game where fades are as good as they are. That being said, still going to go S tier for Bron. Billy Cunningham, mid. 6'6" small forward who's never great at anything really, especially early in the year. I'm good on that card. Byron Beck, this card has a ugly jumper. He's not super fast. He's not extremely versatile defensively. I don't think he's very good either. Paula Reason, I don't really know anything about this Paula Reason card at all. I'm going to be honest. This is one of the cards that I literally don't know anything about. 90 speed, 94, 385 driving dunk looks pretty good. But he's like 6'4", right? At shooting guard. I think that's a little bit too undersized realistically. Yeah, 6'4" at shooting guard is obviously not quite ideal. Even with 94 3 ball and pretty good stats and badges all the way around. I mean, he's not horrible. His jumper's gonna be pretty good. Sigs look okay. 6'4" shooting guard is small though. He looks better than Cliff Hagan, but is he better enough to? We'll go high C tier for him. I think that's what we'll do. Ricky Davis gonna go A tier. Good scorer, good jumper, always a good card, solid defensively. Just has been good in 2K for years now. Dale Ellis has Kemba Escape and a really good jumper. This might be one of those names where it's like kind of like Connie Hawkins, Dale Ellis in S tier. But I actually think this is probably the right spot for him. I'm not 100% sure, and I do want to look at the card a little more before I make that final conclusion, but I do think as a whole, Dale Ellis is really, really nice. He's not insanely fast. He's got kind of low interior, which is annoying. Not the greatest slasher either, but amazing jumper with Kemba Escape. Oh, he's got to, wait, hold on. Hold on, I thought he had a better upper than that. Okay, I take it back. He's not good enough defensively for that jumper to make up for it. Kemba Escape is nice, but he's not gonna. That jumper's not gonna be as elite as I thought. And defensively, he is competent, but he's not insane. 6'9" interior isn't ridiculous. I think like low A probably realistically for Dale Ellis. The Kemba Escape is nice though. Dick Van Arsdale stinks. I'm gonna go D tier with him. He's not very good. KD easy S tier, one of the best scorers in the game. Very, very tough to stop. He is extremely, extremely elite. Rolando Blackman, I'd be totally honest, I don't really know anything about this card either. I bet he's kind of thinking of what previous Rolando Blackman cards have been. He's going to be one of those guys who, again, kind of does everything fine, but nothing insanely well. He's not going to be an insane shooter, an insane slasher, or an insane defender, but he's going to be good at all of them. And yeah, he's very well rounded. He's got good badges. Jumper is, what is the jumper? I have no idea, honestly, about that shot. If this shot is a good shot, he's a pretty good card. If not, he's pretty mid. So we're going to put him middle of B tier. I haven't tried his shot, so I'm not 100% sure. Wally Zerbiak is a pure shooter. He's like a worse Corver. His jumper's not that insane this year, but it's not bad at all. He just doesn't do a ton on defense or as a slasher or anything, but he's competent, and I think he's decent. I'll go B tier with him. Otis Thorpe, 73 ball on a power forward. Actually has a good jumper, though, and is a good finisher. I think he's a B tier. I don't think he's any higher than that, but I think he's decent. Fred Brown is like low C probably. I mean, he's got 60 driving dunk, 60 interior. He does have decent perimeter and good shooting. Kind of like a Kyrie type card, but a little bit better slasher maybe. I'll go C. I wouldn't go higher than that. And then Donovan Mitchell at only 6'1". It's hard to put him higher than C tier as well, despite the fact that I do think he's a fun slasher. His sigs aren't that insane, and he is only 6'1". The wingspan helps, but it doesn't help enough in my opinion. And there you go. That is the first 67 Pink Diamond Hidden Gems ranked on this tier list. I will do the rest of the Pink Diamond Hidden Gems in Saturday's video, so be on the lookout for that as well. But I hope y'all did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.